month is coming to an end. I still need to pay my rent. I got 3 kids I need to take care of. How will I take care of?
Christopher Isike is a professor of African politics and development at the University of Pretoria. He joins us live from South Africa. Christopher, these stories that we just heard, people's lives upended by these days of looting and violence, are painful to hear about. And it's been estimated that this is going to cost the economy $3.5 billion. So what is the government doing about it? Are they helping people?
Yes, thank you for having me. The government is committed to assisting small businesses and anyone who's been affected. The extent to which the government support would help to ameliorate the effects for these business owners remains to be seen, but at least that there is an interest, there's an indication from the government that they will be willing to support such businesses to get back on their feet again.
There's been a lot of analysis over who could have been behind these attacks, basically. Who planned them? How carefully planned were they? How sophisticated and connected were the groups of whoever was behind this? So what do we know at this point?
Well, we don't know yet the full story in terms of who the instigators are. We hear that there's been some arrest of a few of them. The government has identified some of these instigators, but we don't know what their motive is. But it is not completely divorced, from the factionalism within the African National Congress, which is the ruling party. And this is also not unconnected to the faction that is disgruntled right now, that is more associated to former President Jacob Zuma, who is currently being incarcerated, and that's what sparked the crisis, the immediate trigger. But it was fairly organized. The intention, I think, was to cause an uprising, to make the country ungovernable, to give the appearance of incapability and weakness on the part of the president, to justify perhaps why there should be, a change of government. So it's very political. And it was organized, but we are sure that the government will have a handle on it, and in due course would know who the perpetrators are.
What message do you think the current government is taking from what happened, and how much pressure is it under right now?
Yeah, the government is currently under a lot of pressure, especially the president. I believe that he is the target of all of this. The message the president has been pushing out is that it is the people's rights and also civic responsibility to defend democracy. That is what they have done because the law enforcement security agencies could not foil the attempted insurrection, is what I call it, and what the president also calls it. The security forces could not foil it. You find that it was foiled by the people themselves, in organizing themselves as citizens. Different associations, taxi drivers were the ones that stood up, vigilante groups that stood up to the protesters and insisted that they would not allow their local economies to be damaged by these political forces or opportunistic looters, as the case may be. So the president is asking the people to continue to be on alert, to be on the vanguard, to ensure that their democracy is protected. But we also expect that the president and his government would do the needful to also support the people, to support it, to enable democracy to prevail.
Right. It has been stunning to see. Christopher, thank you for that.